Hey, thanks for hanging out with us again. Uh, Lately I've been getting a lot of messages about how I use a vacuum chamber, and I love answering all your questions the best I can. The first thing to remember is if you talk to 20 bait makers how they do it, you're going to get 20 different answers. So this is just, I'm going to explain just how I like to do the vacuum chamber and what's involved in it, and hopefully it'll help you guys out. Um, First I would like to show you the vacuum chamber. So alright, here we have our vacuum chamber and the motor over here. Now what we're gonna do essentially is, you see the gauge here? What it's gonna do is you're gonna cut off all the air so air can't come in, and then you're gonna suck all the air that's in here out. So by removing all the air, when you have your plastic in there, by default you'll remove the bubbles that are in there, the air out of the plastic. And what your goal is, it's at 0 now. What you want to do is get it all the way around to a negative, pretty close to negative 30 psi, and that's when you can release your air. Now what somebody never told me is inside of here you can see I have this 90 degree here. Well, when I first started it, the very first time, I released the air and this wasn't on there, so it just blew straight in, blew plastic all over the inside of my pot. So there's a quick tip, is get that 90 and then you won't have to worry about it. But first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna get some plastisol hot so I can show you how this works, and we'll be right back once I get some plastic hot. Now one of the tips to having all the bubbles out of your plastic, and just all around good rule of thumb, is the way you prepare your plastic. Everybody wants to just grab it, stir it up real quick, and all you're doing is you're adding more bubbles into it. So don't be so aggressive when you mix it, and make sure it's thoroughly mixed, nice and easy. And then also when you're heating it up, I have about half a cup of dead on goodness right here. Now when you heat it up, you don't want to just go all the way till it's hot, you know. Do it in small increments. So my first one I always do in a minute, and then after that's done, I'll check it out, and I go a minute at a time until it just starts to turn clear, and then I go 30 seconds at a time. It might take a little longer to heat up, but the more care you use when you're preparing your plastic, the better your results. So we're gonna get this going real quick and I'll show you what's up. Alright, that was 1 minute, and see, it didn't really change it a lot at all. Now you want to make sure you mix it up good, and when you do it, don't go aggressive in there. When you do it, just nice and easy, nice little swirls. Stir that up, and then we'll put it back in for another minute. Alright, that was 1 more minute. Okay, now you see it's starting to get cloudy, or starting to get clear. So nice slow stirs. Drain that out. And now you just do 30 seconds at a time. Alright, we got our digital probe. Is the best way to get a thorough temperature all the way down. What you want to do, we want to make sure this gets up to 350 degrees. At least 300. See, we're well over 350. Alright. So that is good. Now we're going to put it in the vacuum chamber. Alright, so now we got our plastic up to temp. So try to do this around the camera here. Put that in there. Close her down. Make sure the air is cut off to suck in, and this one's open before you turn it on. You see the dial? You want what we're getting, want this all the way around, okay? And let's see if I can do this without messing up nothing here. Ah. I don't know if you can see it down in, oh my camera. You can't really, can you see down in there? You see all the bubbles coming up? What that's doing, it's sucking all the air out of that. And if you want, sometimes I do a little, not hard, just a little shake like that. Helps the bubbles out a little bit. And then see, the gauge is, we're getting close. Not quite. Little shake. We're doing this in real time so you can see exactly how this works. I'm not going to stop it. I'm just going to let it work. I hope you can see those bubbles in there. That's why you want, when you have the plastic, you want to make sure you don't fill the cups all the way up, because it's going to bubble and the bubbles will flow over, you know. Let's check it. Almost. Okay, I gotta fix this camera real quick. Okay, so you see we're pretty close, about 28. So you kill the power, right? Kill the motor. Now what you want to do is kill your vacuum line, and then see if you don't have that 90 in there, you want to release this pressure that slow. So that's why we get that 90 in there, because then you can just boil it open. It won't bother nothing. And this won't come off until all that air is gone. Now it comes off. And I always like to just get ready for the next round, so switch them back. Now we got, don't ever grab this cup with no glove on. Now we got our plastic. Now you can see there might be a couple bubbles even still in there. So what I like to do is, if that there is, scrape the sides of your cup, because a lot of bubbles could get trapped on that mess. So scrape that off, don't worry about it, it's just garbage. Give it a little swirl. Now what we're gonna do, we're gonna put this back in the mic for just 20 seconds. And then we're gonna vacuum it again, just to get the rest of the bubbles. See those little tiny bubbles? We're gonna vacuum it one more time, just to get the rest of that out of there. But you wanna make sure that cup is scraped, so all those bubbles that are built up on the side doesn't get stuck in your plastic. So I'm gonna heat this up real quick, and then we're gonna vacuum it one more time. All right, so there we have it. We're gonna put this back in. Okay, we got this one closed, this one open. Now turn it on. And there it goes. We got this all the way around, remember? I'm just gonna let this video play out so you can see it in real time, how it works, okay? We're at 20. Give it a little, just agitate it a little bit to release some of those, help it release some of them bubbles. Over on our hot plate, we have one of our 5-inch swim baits from Angling AI. It's been sitting there hot, so we're just gonna pour this clear into there, so just so we can see how it worked out. I like to agitate a little bit. Almost. We're about 28, I think, 26, a little bit more. Alright, I think we're pretty good. So we're gonna kill that. Remember? Turn off the air. Open this side. Very slowly, unless you have something to redirect that air. Okay. Now we have can you see that? Plastic that's free of bubbles. Let me reposition this camera so I can pour it real quick. Alright, now we're just gonna fill this mold up just so we can see. Just fill this up. Messed it up. I'm a right-hander, I'm pouring left-handed. Okay, that was a nice and sloppy pour for you. But the idea is what we're getting at. So we're gonna let that cool down and then clean it up. I'll show you actually a trick on how to clean it up too. We're gonna kill this heat on here. Alright. We kind of were sloppy on that. Had pouring left-handed. But anyway, I'll show you how to clean that up too. But we're gonna let that cool down for a little while, and then as soon as it's cooled down enough to touch, I'll pull it out and we'll check out what happened. But as you can see, this is the plastic and look, crystal clear. Awesome. If you do it correctly, then it'll also help your colors, because you know, if you got a cleaner canvas when you're painting, then you have cleaner, brighter colors in your painting. Same way with this. The more preparation you take on preparing your plastic, the better your results and your colors will be more bright, more prominent. So we're gonna give this a few minutes to cool, and then I'll show you what's up. All right, we're back and they're cool. This is cooled off. So remember how we sloppily oversprayed? Well, I want to show you how to clean that off. Okay, now when you clean it off, let's start up here. All you gotta do is pinch it and move down. Now don't ever try to swipe, because you could pull on that bait and cause cracks and stuff. Just pinch and move down, pinch and move down. Don't ever try to swipe it. And see, look, you can't even see down here. You couldn't even see that, but it's there. So I like to work around the bait all the way around, and then do this side. Here, you know what? Let's take this off, make this a little easier. Take these clamps off of here real quick. Alright, now we'll work this side. Remember, don't swipe, just a pinch, 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 all the way around. That big chunk, see? That's just a pinch. And then you just pull all that crap out of there. And use that as a reminder not to do that again. Alright. So now the tops are all cleaned off. Now this is a craw tube blend, so it's going to be a little more dense than, like, say, a finesse style plastic. But the idea is to show you no bubbles. See that? No bubbles anywhere. The only line in there is from that hook slot being in there. See, that's where you can see where the hook slot, the top of it, stops. Yeah. Very, very cool. And this dead on plastics, as if you set this out, and I like to lay them out so that everything's nice and straight, you know, and let them, not here obviously, but you let them out, lay them out to cool and to cure, you know, and then they actually clear up even more when you after they cure all the way. So this will be like glass. I mean, it'll just be like looking out the window, you know what I mean? It's awesome, awesome stuff. So if you're using dead on plastics and they're still getting bubbles, maybe these ideas will help you. Well, there you go. That's how I like to prepare the plastic anyway. There's different variables that'll come into play, you know, but for the most part, that's how the vacuum chamber is going to run. I know I've had a few cool, people messaging me and stuff, and I love it. Keep them coming. I love answering anything I know. I mean, you're gonna, like I said at the beginning, you're gonna talk to a lot of different bait makers, and all of them are gonna do it a little bit different. The best thing to do is to find your way that works great for you. I just hope that, you know, this is like a stepping stone for how you should do it, you know. This is just an idea. That's how we do it, and it seems to work. You saw the bait. There's no bubbles. So yeah, keep your questions coming. If you got anything you want me to show you, let me know in the comments and stuff, and share this for your friends and help blow our channel up a little bit. So like, subscribe, all that. So thanks for watching as always, and until next time.